What's going on, Tiger fans? I'm accompanied by my little brother today.
What's up, guys?
And he's here to do his first series video of the year. Last year he was in quite a few of my videos. So it's time to recap the Toronto Blue Jays series, and I guarantee you the Tigers are glad this one's over, even though their bats woke up, because the weather down there, frankly, was pure awful. It did nothing but rain. It was windy. It was bad elements for both teams. Those guys looked like they were dressed up in like snow outfits. I mean, they had those things like they covered up their ears and like you couldn't even see their face. So
like a ski mask.
It was a ski mask. Like they were trying to rob the party store on Woodward. So the first game was Anibal Sanchez versus Brendan Morrow. And Anibal Sanchez looked like the Anibal Sanchez of the playoffs of last year. I mean, he looked outstanding. His slider was great. His curve was nasty. Impeccable fastball command. He looked great. I think he struck out five or six. I think he might even struck out 7 guys this time through. And Brendan Morrow, he got hit up a little bit. Morrow last year was a pretty goddamn good pitcher until he got hurt. Let's see. Anibal Sanchez, he struck out 8, my correction. Morrow went 3 2/3 and gave up 5 earned runs on 2 walks.
Cabby got his first dinger of the year.
Yep, Cabby had a beautiful opposite field homer. It was a wall squeaker, though, you got to admit.
Who cares?
It was a wall squeaker the opposite way, but to do it in the elements that he did it was pretty damn impressive. And the Tigers won that game 7-3. The Blue Jays pitching this year has been awful. Statistically wise, they've had the worst pitching staff in the MLB this year. Their starters have given up more earned runs than anyone in the major leagues this past year. I remember we're 8 games into it, or 9 games into it, I should say. Today's the 10th day of the baseball season.
And we have the worst bullpen in the American League.
Yeah, our bullpen's not pretty. So let's get on to game 2. And I got to say, Brian Villarreal, if I didn't talk to you on Facebook, I would be sitting here chewing him a new asshole. Right now, a lot of you people are saying, well, how do you know it's a legit Brian Villarreal you talked to on Facebook? There's this girl I know that's actually dating Brian Villarreal. I'm not real good friends with her, but I've talked to her briefly. I used to talk baseball with her all the time. If you go on her page, I'm not going to say her name just because I don't want to throw her name out there, but her first name is Ashley. If you go on her Facebook page, you'll see that she has Brian Villarreal tagged in photos that they have of them two together because those two are currently going out right now. So, if it wasn't his legit Facebook account, why would she have that Brian Villarreal tagged in his name in her photo? So, I actually talked to Brian Villarreal after the game. There's a certain instance we'll get to in a second. Rick Porcello pitched pretty good. He went 5 innings. He almost went 6 innings, but he was good for the first 5.
That's what he normally does. He'll be good for the first 5 or 4 innings, then bam, he just gets hit up out of
nowhere. 6th inning.
It's weird.
Starts off 3 hits in a row, and the Blue Jays ended up putting a 4 spot in 6-4 after the Tigers had built up a nice lead. And Brian Villarreal comes on, and Villarreal goes on a walk streak, and he had Bautista and Encarnacion both down 1-2, and both times he started out with good fastballs, and then he kept trying to hit that inside corner like he did his first 2 pitches, and get him out on a strikeout. When I actually talked to Brian Villarreal and I was asking him about it, I said, why didn't you throw Bautista, a 1-2 slider? And he goes, because they couldn't hit my fastball that day. And I was telling him, Bautista, he don't hit many homers the opposite way. He don't go to the opposite field very often with any kind of power. And they had a little chart on the Tigers broadcast of Bautista's homers last year. And anything below the belt, he hadn't hit a single homer with, no matter where it was in the zone. Middle and up, he can get to. He's a great, belt high hitter, up high fastball hitter. He's got good power there. But I was like, you should have put him away with that. And then Brian Villarreal was like, he actually told me, he's like, you're a good baseball man, you know about the game. I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking cool that a pro pitcher would say that to me. So if it wasn't for Brian Villarreal talking to me on Facebook, I would probably be sitting here about ready to chew him a new ass. You can ask this kid after that game was over how pissed off I was.
I wanted him to make a YouTube video because it would have been funny.
The first thing I did was I whipped my chair on the floor that I'm sitting in right now, and I was just, the only word that's coming out of my mouth was fuck. I was infuriated because, I understand it's early, but it don't matter where you are at any time of the season. You don't blow games where you have 6-run leads. Those are your pad the stat games. And for them to blow that game was bullshit.
Not even that. Games like that at the end of the year, they show up in the wins and loss columns. Yep. They should have won, and that's very crucial.
So game 3 was just a pure ass rape fest. Ass rape. They fucked up Josh Johnson. Shortest start of his career. He only went 1 1/3, I think. or 2 innings, somewhere close to 2 innings, but he gave up 6 earned runs. Wasn't pretty. He was erratic all day. And then Dougie Fresh throws his first gem of the year. He had a lot of hits given up, but he only gave up 1 earned run, which is pretty damn good in my book over 8 innings. And then Al Albuquerque came out, my boy, closed that bad boy down. So really, the Tigers should have had a sweep this series. There's no doubt about it. They definitely kicked the Blue Jays' ass all 3 days. If it wasn't for the bullpen collapse in the 6th and 7th inning, they would have swept them. And Don Kelly in this series too. He made a great
home run,
home run robbing catch off of Aaron Sebia. And Sebia was just like, God damn it. I was like, that's why we got Donnie Baseball up here. So it was a good series. You know, the bats and everything woke up like I knew they would because the Tigers, they play good every year at home. They win 50 games every year. I knew their offense would perk up. They always score a couple more runs a game at home than they do on the road. Now this is going to be the true challenge. Oakland.
Yeah.
Great squad so far. You know, I'm still not on their bandwagon yet. But so far, they beat the shit out of the Angels last 3 days, and they've been putting up runs. I think they've hit the most home runs in the American League. They're one of the highest scoring offenses right now. Yoenis Cespedes hit a home run last night that I think hit my car window outside. I mean, he crushed it off the rocks in Anaheim.
Yeah, left center.
Now here's my thing. I'm waiting to see. The Tigers every year are normally a 500 worst squad against the AL West. They don't play good when they ever go to the West Coast. I don't know if it's because the travel or the squads out there they're not good against. But every year they're a 500 or worse team when they go out to the West Coast. So I'm waiting to see how they do when they go up against the A's because the A's have been playing really good baseball. They've been scoring a lot of runs. I'm waiting to see if the Tigers bats stay alive, especially 1 through 5.
That's the thing I've been digging about this year. Jackson and Hunter have been fucking phenomenal so far. That's as advertised, I would say.
Oh, no
They've
doubt.
been unbelievable.
Hunter's RBIs aren't there?
Yeah, Hunter is already a big upgrade compared to what we had last year in the 2 spots.
Hunter's RBIs aren't there, but if it wasn't for him and Ajax, Miggy and Prince's numbers wouldn't look like they do right now. No chance. Because those guys they're on base almost every single time.
As for V-Mart, I feel bad for him because he is tattooing balls. He's getting there.
He's just hitting them at people.
He's getting no luck.
Rod Allen told V-Mart he needs to go to the gym, son.
Yeah, he needs to get back in the weight room, son.
But yeah, like I was saying, when they go out to the West Coast, it's a true test because every year 500 or worse record against the AL West. So I want to see if the bats continuously stay hot, how the 1 through 5 looks. Hopefully V-Mart gets warmed up a bit more going out into warmer weather because let's face it, it's been cold as balls here in Michigan. And let's see how they go up against, the A's because, like I said, the A's have been no pushover team so far. So let's see how the bats go. Do the bats stay awake when they go out on the road? Because every year, like last year too, the offense wasn't that great on the road at some points, and they were just over 500 squad on the road last year. And like I said, against the AL West, they don't play that great against AL West teams. So how do the bats look? Is the pitching going to stay good? Hopefully the bullpen settles down a little bit. Benoit has been anointed as the 9th inning guy for now, even though Valverde in the minor leagues so far, he's thrown 2 scoreless outings. But he still said Dotel, Albuquerque, and Coke are guys he will look to go to in the 9th situation bears it. Or barring the situation, I should say. That's correct use. So let's see how they do. Game 1 is going to be Max Scherzer against Bartolo Colon. That lard-ass Colon is coming off his 2nd start after his 50-game suspension. Hopefully the Tigers hit him up. The Tigers have owned Colon since 2003. He's got a 7.53 ERA, 0-3 record. Number 2 game of the series is Justin Verlander against Brett Anderson. JV hasn't been quite JV so far in his first 2 starts of the year.
He's always kind of slow in April, though. So,
even in spring, he didn't even have that great of a spring. He's kind of been off to a slow start this year. But JV, last time he was in Oakland, he pitched a complete game shutout and struck out 11. So, see if that carries over. And then Anibal Sanchez goes up against Jared Parker to end the series before we head off to
Seattle
to see Mike Morris and company. So, that's all I got for you guys today. Like I said, let's hope the bats stay alive. Let's hope the offense stays good. Let's see how hopefully the bullpen clears up a bit more. And hopefully the pitching staff stays as good as it is. But I'm mainly focused on the 1 through 5.
I'm mainly focused on how I really want to see Dirks pick it up a bit more because he's swinging through a lot of pitches really, really bad. His defense hasn't been bad. He threw out that runner yesterday. And another thing, Avila, I'm liking what I'm seeing from him so far. A lot more.
I called him to have a breakout year again.
A lot more aggressive on the first pitch.
He's not missing fastballs this year.
Yeah, you can tell he's healthy. He's really good.
He's had a couple nice bombs.
Does he have, I think, 2 or 3 already?
Yeah, he's got 2 homers.
Yeah.
He almost got a third one the other day.
But like the home runs he hit though, he wouldn't hit that last year.
No, he's missing.
He's doing really good so far. I want to see how he does in this series.
See how the bats do, guys.
Yep.
Hopefully, offense stays hot.
And if there's any type of 3 pitchers I want going in the series to slow down the A's, we have the pitchers going this series to do that.
Yep.
So hopefully a sweep or just a series win, I'd be happy with.
Yep. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.